Hi, I'm Sian, and today we're going to be making some Snowdrop earrings, and all you need is 3 pairs of pliers. We've also got some pearl cement, and we are going to be using this leaf chain. I saw this on the Cooks and Gold website recently. I think it's pretty much a new product, and it is really lovely. And I've just ordered a short length of it. So it comes in loose chain, so it's got no findings on it, and you can just order whatever length you want. And we are going to be cutting it up and linking it together and adding some pearls onto it. We're going to start by getting our pearls. These are the pearls that we've got today, and they are half drilled pearls. These are actually super handy to keep because if you need to, you can put them back on those and they will re-stick again. And then what we're going to do, we've got these little cups. They are sterling silver and they've got like a little bit in the middle. That is going to go in the inside drilled bit of the pearl, and then the cup sort of sits around that outside bit of the pearl. And then you have the little loop on it that you can then attach to like an earring or a pendant and just using a jump ring. What you want to do first, and it can be a little bit fiddly. So this is the half drilled pearl and it's going to sit on this cup. Okay, that sits okay. Sometimes you might need to cut this little length here. I'll give it a little trim, but it's actually not too bad. So I've got these side cutters, so they're fine to use, and you might just want to take a tiny bit off. Just put that, yeah, so that fits a little bit more flush. Like so. So we'll just do one and then we'll do a bit of a production line. This is the pearl cement. It is a kind of, well, this is flammable and an irritant, so just be careful with it, but it does dry clear and it's perfect for putting the pearls onto these little silver cups. Right, I'm going to put the top back on. So I put the glue on, just to recap, and then I put this little pearl on. That is going on there like that. So that's our first little pearl. So what we need to do now is we need to do all of these pearls. And for these earrings, they're going to have 3 pearls on each earring. So you don't want to put too much glue on it, because it will seep out the sides, but you obviously want to put enough glue on that it's going to stick your pearl on. You want to put the tiniest amount of pressure when squeezing it, and obviously you don't want to waste it either. So there's just enough glue that it's holding it on, but there's not so much that it is oozing out, but you can just wipe it off. You want your pearl to sit flat. Otherwise it's just not gonna stick. Okay, so that's the pearl on the cup. Those are all of our pearls that are now glued onto our cups. Just put the lid on that. So it's got a little wire that goes down, and I think it's just really important to keep the lid on as much as you can. So really those probably need about 24 hours, I would think, to make sure that they're kind of fully set, but they'll probably be okay to pop on now. We are gonna make the top bit of the earring, so that top kind of stud bit, and then the bits that sort of dangle down as well. And these are another thing that I saw online. These are some earring findings. So they're sterling silver. They've already got the posts soldered on, and they've already got the little kind of jump rings on them as well. That one is a little bit, not quite fully formed, but that's not a problem because we can just bend that round, and as long as that sits flush, it will be fine. It will be absolutely okay. What we're going to do, this is the leaf chain. It's got these like amazing dangly leaves on it that are sterling silver. I saw it online and thought, do you know what? That's a really kind of versatile product that you could do so many things from. I think I've got about 8 centimeters. We're going to chop it in half so that we've got like 4 centimeters. I'm going to cut it in half, but I do also want it to be quite precise because we don't want loads and loads of leaves on one side and not so many on the other. Okay, so we've got about 30 leaves. So I've counted the leaves because there's not a lot of leaves on each earring. It'll be really obvious if they're uneven, I think. So that's our 2 lengths, and we are going to attach it This is our earring finding. So that's the post, and it's got the post already soldered. This little wave here is sterling silver, and it has the kind of loop on the back. So what you need to do is open that loop out. And you need to kind of use, so I've got those flat nose, but you can use these ones as well. So those are the snipe nose pliers. And you just want to be twisting that open. So you can just hold it with your fingers. It's quite small, and I think you'd struggle to kind of hold it with 2 pairs of pliers. So I've just used those ones and opened that out. And what we're going to do is hook our chain, one end on that side, and then we're going to bring it up and hook the other end on. So yeah, we're going to close it. These are probably the best pliers because they've got that kind of pointed nose, and we're going to close it. And I'm just using my fingers, really. I would be tempted now to just give that a little bit of a squeeze because you want this to perfectly align. If there's any kind of gap in that, that gives this chain the opportunity to come off. And as we're not heating it or soldering it shut, really, you kind of want to minimize that risk. That's the first one. And then we've got this one. So again, we're going to attach this top chain. And then I'm going to loop it over. And this just kind of adds a bit of volume, I think, to the earrings. I'm just going to close this. So I'm going to bring it round, and then I'm going to give it a little bit of a squeeze. I'm going to bring it round a bit, and then give it another little squeeze. So those are now the tops of those earrings. This is how kind of versatile this chain is. I think I love anything that's got multiples on it as well. Like, I'm somebody who really enjoys a multiple. And so for me, I just love this. We are going to put a little bit of chain at the bottom, and that chain is so that we can attach the pearls. So, and you don't need a lot of chain for this. I have picked a chain that's got quite open loops on. So this is a Belcher chain. I will list everything that I've used. So you don't have to use this chain. If you've got some other kind of sterling silver chain, you might have like a little offcut or something like that, you can use that. As long as these links here, you're able to get a number of sort of quite heavy jump rings through, because really this is what this is for. This is kind of going to link this earring to these pearls. Yeah, it's about 5.5 centimeters, so 55 mil. But I am going to count the links. Because we're using such a small amount of chain, if you've got one length that's got like 10 links and one link that's got 11, I think you will probably notice a difference in length. Okay, so we've got 27. So that's good, because if we cut one link, that will go. So we've got 26, so we're going to do 13. Okay, so that's 13. So I'm going to cut number 14 off, and just using these side cutters as well. So it's quite easy to cut. Okay, just always, if you can, save these little bits of silver, because sort of a regularly cutting chain, or you're cutting little bits off, you can put those in a little lemon pot, and you can, you'll be surprised how much it kind of adds up. I've got my 2-length chain. They've got 13 little links. And then I've got, these are 4 mil heavy jump rings, sterling silver again. You could use a different kind of jump ring. You do want it to be quite thick with the wire. And when I say quite thick, I would do 0.7 mil plus. I think you can get a good feel for it when you actually see the jump rings. If you're wearing some earrings and they're obviously going to hold the pearls on, you don't want something that's going to be flimsy, because again, we're not soldering these shut. So these jump rings, if there's any kind of pull on those earrings, that's where they will kind of come off. So the important thing is that the wire is quite thick, that they're able to be closed properly, and they're going to hold the weight of those pearls. So we're going to start with these two. So I've got the snipe nose and I've got the flat nose, and we are going to attach this bit of chain to these earrings. We're going to find the bottom. So these go round in a link. Find that last link, which is about here. And then you want to take your jump ring. So sometimes like a jump ring is really heavy. You might need like a heavier based pliers. For this, certainly it's absolutely fine. We've got these kind of snipe nose pliers, and I've got these flat nose pliers. As long as your pliers have these two faces that are flat, you'll be able to kind of grip that jump ring and open it. I'm going to open it like this, and then we're going to hook this on that bottom link. And then we are going to take this chain, and that's going on there. Now we're going to close this jump ring, and it needs to align like really well. I'm going to attach the pearls that I've only just recently glued them. So you do need to leave them. I would leave them. I would leave them for as long as you can. But yeah, 24 hours I would say. But for the purpose of just now, we're going to attach them just to show you. So like so. And then you're going to hook it through that little loop at the top. And then this is where you're going to attach it to this bottom bit of chain. So we're going to attach it here. And you want to close that jump ring. So that's the first pearl. And then we're going to put the other ones on. Those are our finished Snowdrop earrings. If you've got some great ideas for other things that you can do with the leaf chain, leave it in the comments and we would love to read through those and try out some of those ideas.